up the dance. Now beg my friend, big comment, I'll take.
Hello guys and welcome back to the We Do Cool Shit podcast. Today's episode, my god, I am hella hyped because we're going to hear all about the behind the scenes as to how Ultra Music Festival is coming to New Zealand. This is going to be crazy. I'm excited for this chat, the BTS, all the vibes. You must be on such a high from this.
I'm on absolute high. It is. Everywhere you go, everyone's just talking about
the
this.
Chat's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's so crazy. Like they'll, hey man, how's your summer going? I'm like, oh, we did all this amazing stuff, and they're like, yeah, but like Ultra's coming up. Like Ultra's just this it's just this next level, event brand, or international event brand that people just never expected to come here.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. It's so cool to run into people and just see how mind blowing they are. Like they're still struggling to comprehend.
100%.
And lots of what's really cool as well is just people going, man, the lineup is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, oh, it's so cool that you're saying that, because most of these EDM acts, like, people weren't chasing me to bring them here because they probably thought it was never
It felt
doable.
impossible.
Yeah.
Like as a punter, when you see, I've watched Ultra for years on the live streams on YouTube, that era of like the YouTube after movie, that like 2014 to like 2020, just before COVID era. That was the thing, that was what everyone watched.
True.
And so it felt so unattainable being in a small country on the arse end of the world for that even to be possible for us. And then here we are.
Here we are.
How did it even come about? Can we start from the beginning? Because I felt like for me, even working in the organisation, it all happened so quickly. But for you, that can't be something that just happens overnight.
The irony is, like, obviously there was that video that we released at the start where I like rolled in and I told you, hey, we've got Ultra. Like, that is genuinely what happened. Like, I wonder if people think, shit, no, that's impossible. But just to be clear with everyone, like, genuinely, 8 days before that, we didn't know that we were going to do Ultra. We knew there were conversations that had happened, but it all came together insanely fast. And so obviously the flow on of that was trying to get the lineup together and get it out.
Yes.
But to answer your question, it goes back to conversations that I'd had with the Australian partners in Ultra a while back, some months ago, not that long ago. And we were just saying how it would be incredible to, like, Ultra's had some success in Australia, and we're just saying how incredible it would be to do it in New Zealand, and then this is over like a dinner, and next minute it's like, we can do New Zealand.
Could be possible.
and I'm like, whoa, like it's sort of like the conversation became real quite fast.
Yeah, wow.
We didn't get into any detail or anything. We just sort of, they're friends. It was like, okay, keep the conversations going over throughout the year. And eventually, to caveat this as well, like, I always knew that Wellington needed something, right? Because once Homegrown had gone, I always thought, man, we were in conversations with council, and we always thought it would be amazing to do something on the waterfront. We've done so many events in Wellington, but we'd never done anything at that scale.
Yeah, wow.
And so these two things were sort of existing in the background. It was like, okay, Wellington needs something.
Iconic waterfront venue. I'm having this conversation about Ultra. We're trying to get the government to like get on board with this. But I remember it just clicked. It was like, okay, wait, Wellington waterfront is a mini Miami. Ultra is Ultra. Wellington needs this event. I can't do Ultra without the support of the government, because it's just so ridiculous to put this thing on. Let's see if we can, marry these two things together. And I swear, I think it was 8 days or 10 days out or something, the conversations became very real, very fast, and the government were like, okay, we're in. And honestly, before we knew it, I think 2 days later, I'm in the office telling you, hey, like, we're doing Ultra. Hadn't got paperwork signed, just trying to get everything together, from every angle, from the support side, from the government, from the licensing side, from Ultra International, from trying to pull the lineup together. Like, it was like, guys, we're going to move real fast, and that was just the most intense, like, early December that you can imagine. The fact we're sitting here only 4 or 5 weeks on,
from the fact it wasn't even anything that was confirmed yet, and now we're sitting here with a lineup that has the likes of Chainsmokers, Zed, Darren Styles, these massive names in EDM, and we're sitting here with them and a sold out show.
Yeah.
Only 4 or 5 weeks on. It's just a mind-blowing situation and a dream result.
So such a dream result, and that's like such a sum of its parts, like how my team, you know, myself, Luke, like everyone on ground here had to like work real hard to get the not sort of like the logistics are still being worked on, but to get all the formalities, like to get everything in line, you know, we're like, okay, we're going to go balls to wall to get this done. But the Ultra team had to then rapidly pull this lineup together.
Crazy.
Which this is quite cool for people to know how it works, but Ultra book the main stage and the resistance stage. So this shows you how connected these guys or how powerful this brand is, but they just went out, and how quickly did they get Chainsmokers, DJ Snake, like Nico Marino, Zed, these guys called up, you know, they're just like a phone call away, like, hey man, do you want to play? This is what it felt like to me. They just call up, boom, like, and 3 days later we had contracts, 4 days later, 5 days later.
No way.
So yeah, here we are on ground rushing. Here's overseas trying to pull this all together. Boom, announce, and now obviously this is why people are like, oh, the bass music, the drum and bass, that side of it, which you would expect from us. So that's the stuff that I've been booking for the last few weeks since the first announcement. So basically you get this perfect little, like I said, sum of all its parts, and you're about to see 4 stages, multi-genre, and everything should just work out perfectly. I'm down to like the last 2 or 3 acts that we're locking in. So I think I mentioned a couple of names to you, but yeah, it's definitely, I've tried to stay true to Ultra with this. Like it's
absolutely.
Yes, there's an Audiology stage, but it's not going to be all drum and bass. Like we'll throw a lot of local drum and bass guys on, but I've actually tried to go, again, stuff that you wouldn't see here.
Yeah, nice.
Like, so you'll notice a lot of these big acts that we announce are like either 140 or like bass, trap, dubstep,
bit of hard
vibes.
style in there.
And then there's that whole side of it. But yeah, I think that's, I'm really proud of the fact that this isn't something you would normally see from us.
I think what's quite exciting too is that, because in New Zealand, a lot of our main festivals are all D&B focused, and there are so many big names in the genre that have become big from coming to New Zealand. But it's a really exciting time for us as Audiology, and also just for the punters to experience those new sounds. Because we are in, you know, the small island at the bottom of the world. We don't get this diverse music range a lot of the time. It's sort of like, here's the festivals, here's who we're putting on. You guys seem to like drum and bass, let's focus on that. But for us to start to introduce these new genres is also quite exciting for Audiology's future as well. We'll always be D&B, we always love D&B, but these new styles and new genres coming through are exciting. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, I've always said that, and this is just an extension, or like this is what we've always believed on steroids, because we've always had a little underground house scene going on. We've always introduced different genres on our second stage. We've always been primarily drum and bass, but like at the heart of it all, you know, like I've been touring house music DJs in New Zealand for 15 years as well. And then as things have progressed and garage has got bigger, we've started, you know, there's a lot of this sort of like even niche-y techno stuff. Like we tried it all, but at the end of the day, you can only really tour what the market wants.
Exactly right.
Otherwise it's not sustainable.
Exactly right.
Ultra, the reason it's on steroids is it's given us the ability to do what we've always wanted to do. On a major scale, but also with like EDM acts that I genuinely love. Like, I don't even care how cheesy people think any of it is. Like, I promise you that when you're there, as someone that's been to Ultra, Tomorrowland, and all these festivals around the world, there's nothing quite like the combination of EDM and production.
Oh my gosh.
On a major scale, like
it's
a major scale stage.
Emotional side of it that it hits as well. Like all of these songs are such, there's this big nostalgia element too. Like you think of the Chainsmokers and said some of their biggest songs. There's actually a trend at the moment on socials. It's like 2026 is the new 2016.
Yeah.
And the anthem to every single person's video is something Chainsmokers or Zed related.
Really?
It's like Clarity Zed, or it's like Chainsmokers Roses. And I'm like, we could not have picked the most perfect time to bring this lineup.
It's
literally those two tracks. I'll have to send it to you.
I need to get on TikTok.
I did ask you to send me some of your 2016 videos, but I don't think they're PG enough to post on the socials.
I replied, well, I just, because you know how you do the old like zoom out scroll vibe, and I went to 2016 and I was in the middle of something, but I was like, just thought it'd be funny, so I zoomed in, and it was just like me and 16 mates, like this group that went to Coachella, like trying to eat our, like, we were like drinking out of our hats and trying to just like eat the hats. And like, it was
gosh.
we were just absolutely steamed. And I was like, is this a smart thing to send Brie?
Yes. Viral content.
Yeah. I'm trying to not get cancelled this year.
Fair
That's
enough.
my goal for 2026.
Fair enough. What's really cool though is you did go to Ultra though as a punter. 2014 was it?
Yeah, I've been a couple times. 2014 was a very memorable one. That was
Vindication.
That was Vindication. Yes. There is a video on YouTube somewhere.
There is.
I actually thought it would be so funny to do like a throwback video of us there.
Yeah.
And then at the
You should.
Wellington one.
I went to pull something out of it today and I was like, I just don't know if we can post that without having another side to it. Yeah, we could try.
The context. But look, it was wholesome in that, like, the party was wild, but it was wholesome in the sense that we like got this group together, and when you plan and you pack for this, like, it was a 6-week incredible trip that everything from like we took a cruise ship through the Bahamas that came back to Ultra in Miami, and then we did Ultra, and then from Vegas and everything. But the trip was like super, just one of the best trips of my life.
Amazing.
And I was telling you earlier, the funny thing is that the original chats like popped up again with the crew that went to Ultra, and all of them are just taking, like, they're like genuinely mind blowing, but also like taking the piss of like, how is this, like, we went to Miami Ultra with you 12 years ago, and now we're going to Wellington with this, because the same crew is going to come down.
That's mad.
And we're just like joking about like the planning around it, and like the I don't know, it's like this, it's unfathomable, I think, for like a lot of people. They're still trying to come to terms with the fact that it's all happening.
It's really mind-blowing to me too. So when all my friends are planning their OEs and going overseas, I would say 90% of them have an Ultra trip planned in there. Whether that's Miami, Croatia, it's all around the world.
Yeah.
It's literally would be one of the biggest festival names, no matter what generation. Everyone knows what Ultra is. And the fact that it is coming to Wellington, like you say, to get people's head to come to terms with that massive international festival that's delivered in the best party countries and best places in the world is coming to Welly is crazy.
Unbelievable. So it is, like, it's factually the largest festival brand in the world, and I think that's quite funny as well. Like, I think we said that in the original post, and someone's like, this is not the biggest festival in the world. And because they're like, there's festivals that get 400,000 people to one. So the reason Ultra is the biggest in the world is because of its like spread across locations and the amount of overall attendees.
Totally.
So so McDonald's is the biggest fast food chain in the world, but it doesn't fit more than 200 people into one restaurant. Like, that's the only analogy I can think of.
It's a great analogy.
I should have used that.
Damn it.
But
now we are.
But yeah, that's and that's the scale of it, the impact that Ultra has had, the length of time it's been around, and the overall attendees. Like it's in 36 locations or so from memory.
Wow.
It is it's one of the brands that you can look at and go, you have had like a significant cultural impact internationally. Like it really is. When you think of Zed and when you think of all these acts like the Chainsmokers, you also think of Ultra. So
yes, literally.
For me, could the lineup be any more Ultra? Probably not.
It's so perfect. And for its first year, I was actually walking around our Wellington site the other day. So down there for another show.
Oh, yes.
That was just on a very small fraction of what the site would be. And Luke said, okay, come, we'll go for a walk. And I was like expecting to be, 10 minutes, just pop down, have a look at a few different places. It took us like 40 minutes to have a proper walk around and for him to explain this stage will be here, this stage will be here. So can we talk about what blew my mind is I've had friends who have attended Homegrown before, and they explained to me that as you're walking between the stages, it's sort of very stop-start, it's not free flow. You leave your drinks at one place, you get the crew together, you pack up, you go to the next, and that's sort of how the licensing or the venue flow worked. But I've heard a little rumour for Ultra, it may be a bit different to that.
There's rumours floating around, we look, firstly, we've got such a great team, and it's because like we're not trying to replicate what anyone else has done. Like we go down there and we look at what is the best case scenario for this festival, and then reverse engineer it from that. So when we went down to the waterfront, we know that the site is quite pokey in places. I've been to Homegrown a number of times, incredible festival. But I also looked at it from like an Ultra lens. Like dream scenario is that we take over the entire waterfront, and when you enter, you're entered. You know, like it's not. We don't need the separation between the different spaces. I want the whole waterfront to be a licensed festival. So that creates it creates a feeling of once you're in, you're in. The flow is amazing. Like you walk between the stages, activations, experiences, the walking along, and it's just 180-degree views of like water, and like it's
Beautiful.
stunning. So we wanted to take advantage of that as much as possible. So yeah, the rumors you've heard are true. I think it'll be. We'll be able to show this a bit better, I think, when we drop the site map and whatnot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I can almost guarantee it'll be the coolest takeover. Not even just of the waterfront, but of the city. Like when we show you, when everyone sees what we're doing, it's like from the moment you touch down in Wellington, the city will be ultra.
It is incredible, and even just like the stage locations as well, and how each stage has a purpose and a reason that it's there. And obviously, Ultra is known for its resistance stage.
Yes.
And they did mention on a call we had with them a couple of weeks ago, it's actually the first time they're delivering the full production, the full Ultra vibe, the proper stages. Like that to me is just mind blowing.
Yeah. I remember saying that at the start, like. For people that are wondering, is this like the road to Ultra? No, this is like the full-scale Ultra.
Thing.
Again, social media is a funny place, but some warriors getting on there being like, this isn't actually Ultra, this is Audiology's version. It's like,
no,
this is
it's Ultra.
Yeah, this is about as Ultra as it gets.
Yeah.
And I also firmly believe that it'll be one of the best Ultras internationally because there's nothing quite like this location. There's nothing quite like Kiwis. And I just believe that we're like one of the best crowds in the world.
Absolutely, we get amongst it.
Yeah. Like, Americans are awesome. Like, I just think it's a different vibe here. It's something that, to be fair, it's not something we've really trialed and tested, but I'm confident that it's going to be.
Well, you can't compare it to anything in New Zealand, right? Like, there's nothing you can be like that it sort of sits next to, because it is just such an international lineup, massive EDM names I've never seen names like this on a lineup in New Zealand in my lifetime.
No, like I bought DJ Snake out here for Bay Dreams one year, and like there's been like tastes of it, but it's so different when you put it all together and it's only that. So very excited. So now all we need to figure out is how to fit some more people in, because it's like I said, with this new layout, the objective is now to just find a way to get a few more people in, because it is pretty sad, not just for us, but like for the people that have actually missed out, that are messaging and stuff. It's pretty heartbreaking when they're like, this was my dream, and then part of you's like, I told you to buy tickets, but also but everyone's got different reasons and whatnot. And I think we want to. We're definitely not going to overdo it, but I think if there's a way to get another couple thousand people in, that's our goal.
Definitely.
So I'm only saying that because if you're listening to this, join the wait list, because we're the first thing we're going to do is just offer it to the actual wait list, genuine humans.
Yeah, good.
Scalpers.
Nice. I'm like, no
waiting.
scalpers allowed. Big shout out to the government, Wellington and Z. They've really got behind this, haven't they? This project, this vibe, the vision.
Hugely. And that's, if anyone's wondering why we got this support, and to be fair, not many people have had an issue with it. Like, there were definitely some comments, that show is just
EDM,
in that arena.
really?
And, a couple of those, and then people are a little bit disappointed about the other shows that got funding, because they're like, but I think for Ultra, at least everyone's like, whoa, it's an international brand, well done. But for anyone wondering like why we needed the support, it's because it is so extremely expensive to deliver something like this, and within the capacity that we're doing.
Yeah.
Like if we were selling 50,000 tickets to this, we wouldn't need the support.
Yeah.
But because it's going to be between 20 to 25,000.
Yeah.
You need the support, because without getting into detail, those acts are extremely expensive, so much more expensive than the drum and bass guys, and that's because they're selling stadiums in the US, and they're selling stadiums, and like Snake can go online. Snake sells out like stadiums in
I've
France.
seen like 60, 70,000 people attend to shows overseas, and even think like Ultra Miami, the size of that is just, it'd be like 4 or 5 times the size of what we're doing in Wellington.
Easily.
It's crazy, and the lineups are these artists as well. So the fact that we're pretty intimate shows for such mega names when you compare it internationally.
Exactly. And we don't want to lose that feel. You know, like, so we could have shifted from the waterfront and gone to some green field and like
paddock somewhere.
And that's what I want, like, but that's just, we're in this for the right reason, and I want the Ultra experience to be so insane that next year everyone's just like, buy your
Get
ticket
onto it
on
quick.
day one. Otherwise,
Yes.
you're not going to be with us.
Exactly,
unfortunately.
exactly. And Wellington is such a fun city when it's lively, it's eventful, it's beautiful, right on the waterfront. So for us to
So
deliver, like you say at the start, like that pairing of like perfect location, getting
yeah.
the license, having these brand partners, like everything has just been this perfect concoction.
Little amalgamation.
Hell yeah.
That's the dream.
How
That's
good.
the dream. No, so yeah, seriously. And another shout out though. Yeah, so Wellington NZ has been so good with this whole thing.
Amazing.
To give us like the creative freedom, but to like back it 100%. And for us to, you got to remember, like at a corporate level, you're trusting this brand, Audiology, to deliver what you say you're going to deliver. And so I'm sitting there, we're getting this lineup together, and I'm signing off. Definitely, we'll get 20,000 people. Like, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, but what if it's 15?
Yeah.
But it had to be 15. It had to be 20. It had to be 20 plus. And they believed us. And I'm sure we've delivered enough shows to gain a little bit of trust. And but the fact that we pulled it off this fast is,
insane.
I think this partnership is going to be long term, which is really cool.
I agree. I believe in the longevity of this so much because the city is perfect, because we don't have anything like this in New Zealand. Like, it's just the perfect storm of all these amazing things.
Exactly.
How good. April 10?
April 10th, Friday, April 10th. But as I've always said, go for the weekend though. Make a weekend of it.
Definitely. So much to do in Welly as well. Beautiful city, capital
Heck yeah.
city. Make a weekend of it. And who knows, we might do some Audiology pop-up parties
We're
at
going to
the
do
side
pop-up
of it.
parties. We're chatting about some really cool stuff, actually. Like bars getting involved. Where Cuba Street, like there's ultra cocktails at all the bars.
Yes.
And like it's just little touch points. And again, won't give too much away. But like the idea is you touch down. And this is something that Tomorrowland are the best at. Am I allowed to say that? Surely. But when you touch down in the airport, you're already immersed in the festival. There's
experience,
people like dancing and they're welcoming you, and there's like info, come over here, and like everyone's dressed up, and that's a little bit of the vibe we're trying to create in Wellington. Like I want it to be when you fly in, when you go down the street, when you make your way into the festival, and when you leave, and the next day.
Everything is ultra.
Still ultra, yeah.
I love that. I need to ask you, I haven't asked you this yet, which artists are you most excited to see on the lineup? Who are you most gassed for? I'm really keen to know.
Okay. That's it's an easy one. The first one's easy for me, which is Zed.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, that's just everything I said about what we were doing in 2012, 13, 14, whatever. Like it was Zed was there. Like you couldn't go to a festival without Zed being around. But also then his songs became so, they were just such a part of all of our overseas travel and friend circles and songs that come on at your pre-drinks and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So but seeing Zed in context on the main stage that's probably okay. I'm going to be front and center for that.
Yeah. I expect you to be on the barrier for that one, Mitch.
On the barrier. Obviously, every act at the Audiology stage, for me to get like some heavy dubstep on the bass stage, for me is also a throwback and back to my roots. And Audiology started with dubstep, so you gotta go back to those days and relive that for a bit. But then I'm going to throw in a curveball, and the funny thing about this one, Darren Styles, is like the people have like created. I get so many messages and there's so much hype around Darren Styles that it made me hype to see what I'm missing out on.
I agree.
So I honestly can't stand here and say I've ever been a hardstyle fan, but I'm getting secondhand like.
They're building the hype, man.
They're building it for me.
The comments for him were just on par, almost, with the Chainsmokers and Zed and all the other big names. And it made me actually go, okay, let me go listen to some of this music. And I'm like, okay, I can see the vibe. I can feel the vibe. It is so full on.
It's so full on.
But the energy that builds, like I can just imagine, it's going to be major. So I'll be there for that one too.
Definitely can't miss that.
How good. Big shift coming, guys. Soon. I cannot wait. Countdown is on. Please, like Mitch said, join the waitlist if you don't have tickets, because that will be where we release them if we find some extra capacity. But for those who've got tickets, well done. You've locked it in. We will see you all this April at Ultra New Zealand. How good.
Rhythm, I'm in my shirt, the dance. Now beg my friend,